stars. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the. I'm a player on the late night tips. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog to the skull. Ignorant. Can I live? Still film it. Kiss to death. Forever taking that. 3.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Jacksonville Jaguars and a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And it'll be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterback shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
And we're trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now Wilson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Here's Wilson. That's caught by Treadwell. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless on 4th down here early in the game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Wilson on third down. And he's got it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Will Fuller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 22.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A look at the numbers for Doyle from a week ago. 3 catches, 51 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is number 1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. So first possession, 4th and short. Field goal's no gimme from here. What you think about going for it?
I'm not just thinking about it. I'm signaling go for it. Let's get this, all right? Yeah, look, you're right. You know, the field goal's there, but it's not a chip shot. My big thing is...
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And we'll see what the decision is here as they've got a 4th and 1 coming up. And Parkey's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac. But you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down, but they'll get it back.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And able to find Dorsett. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So reverse the... celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Wilson. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. The return comes from Orleans Darkwa. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Barkevius Mingo in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Prescott from the gun. And that is incomplete.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they have the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you evolved. You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Now it's Breida. They find some open field here. And room to run as he's out past the 35-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Alec Ogletree coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stakes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. A screen complete to Crowell. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This is taken at about the 14. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Marcus Golden in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Buying time under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we send you, there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here comes Darkwa. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. On second down, Prescott again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Prescott yet again. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They run again with Breida. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
Here's a give to Crowell. And some room to work. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. Got some real estate inside the 30. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The All-Pro in two positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Crowell. And he's brought down. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Orleans Darkwa, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he's got some space here. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Here's Wilson to throw. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now a toss play. It's Breida. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Face mask. Defense.
Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties. No.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep over the... And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Call it a pickup of 7, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Complete. Richardson has it. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, that extra emphasis on it, got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Isaiah Crowell, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete. The Jags come up empty on fourth down. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
He's going to loft one, deep left side. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. DJ Chark, 68 yards. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Prescott, and his throw here is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. Third down here. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Time for a break. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Here's Wilson. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Third and 2, now Wilson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
Well, they're enjoying a fourth-quarter advantage. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Wilson, he's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2, now third down. On third down, Wilson. He's going to fire one deep left, and he fires one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. That is caught at the 7. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Prescott from the gun. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Jack Doyle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
So now what do you do as it comes back to the 7?
I think you stick with your strategy. You've already told your team you're going for 2. You dial up a different play. The only saving grace, a bit more room to operate if you're deciding to throw the ball especially.
Going underneath for Crowell. And he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Wilson wants to throw it. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. He's got a man complete. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.